This video is broken up into two parts. The first part is me showing my method of how I scrap these motors. And then the second part, which is part 2, is going to be I'm going to scrap a 150-pound motor, electric motor, take the copper from it. I have no idea how well that's going to go. I don't even know how I'm going to do that yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we got to work on this one. For these motors, I got a steel pile, an aluminum pile, and a copper pile. So usually on these motors, the inside coils are made of copper, and these outside plates here are aluminum. It's steel, and so these outside too. So first up, all we gotta do is take these bolts off that connect the whole thing together. So now we got these bolts off. All we gotta do is separate these three pieces. And so this one, I got a pulley on here, and I'm not even gonna try. I think it's rusted on there good. Now I do not have a puller at my shop, but I do have one at the farm. Go over to that farm and use that and take the pulley off so I can get this aluminum plate. So how I'm gonna get this out is I'm gonna take a punch and just punch that big thing right there. There we go. And this thing just comes out. And then I'll take the pull this pulley off, and then I can get this aluminum plate off. I gotta stack them. I got a few motors here that I gotta do. Ooh, this one's gonna have a lot of copper in it. This one should just come off. Like so. Let's get your side bites and just cut all those off, and we'll clean that up later. Oops. And to get this out, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my grinder and cut it in half. Alright. So now I got those split, should just come right off. Might need a little persuasion. Alright, so now this is the worst part of the whole entire process in my opinion, and that is we gotta take all these little strings off. And this one looks like it won't be too bad because it doesn't seem like there's any flux on here. Now if you get the ones that got flux on them, they're just going to be real tight and they're going to be glued down to the copper, and it's just a pain to remove. So I think this one's going to be a good one, but we'll see. Taking all that wire or string off was relatively easier than all the other motors have done. So now what we're going to do is, this has pins in it. Not all of them do. I've only had, this is going to be the 4th one I've had pins in out of like 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split these with a little wedge, and then I'm going to grind the pins off once I split them. She's starting to crack. Alright, so you probably saw in the time lapse I just took a Sawzall so I split it open because this metal here is really hard. So I just split it open with a wedge and then I cut the copper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my vise. Put it in my vise, get it nice, good and tight. Each of these halves has 8 groups. So we got, this is the inside 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got the outside 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the outside are bigger than the inside. So what I like to do is just take a big screwdriver or something. Oh, you're so nice. Oh, and they just pull right up. Oh, this is the nicest any of them have pulled up for me by far. That was awesome. Huh. Oh, this is gonna be quick. That's crazy. I've been trying to film this video on like 3 different motors, but every time I keep running into problems. This is awesome. They just pull right out. And the outsides are just the same as the insides. You just pull up on them with a screwdriver. They just pull right out. Alright, this half just goes in the scrap. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. 6. 7. 8. Now that motor's done, or the copper's out of it, we gotta clean this one up. This is really simple. I just gotta take out these 4 bolts here, and then pull everything out. And then I gotta pull that bearing out, and then pull this metal piece off, and these 2 bolts here, and just pull this. I don't even know what this is. Covering is off, and that should be it. Well, I hope you liked the video. Taking that copper out was a piece of cake. I'm super happy I finally got a motor that was a piece of cake. And I can't wait till I take that big motor apart. I think I'm starting to get an idea on how I'm going to attempt to do it. I think I'm just going to cut the crown off, which is basically not cut the thing in half. I'm just going to chop the top copper off. And then I'm going to put it up on something. I'm thinking sawhorses maybe. And then I'm just going to take a big punch and punch out the copper through the bottom, through the holes. So it'll make more sense whenever I show you the video, or if that even is what happens, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now I got, I think, 2 or 3 more motors to do, and then I can work on that big motor.